I wanted to do a video on this because I keep getting comments from this video that I did on ghetto gaggers and black men being the real ghetto gaggers. Okay, so let's just deal in reality here. Instead of talking about porn stars who are getting paid to be called the N-word and so forth, why don't we focus on the very people who like to be called the N-word. Pay people to be called the N-word. Love to talk about submitting to a big white cock. And, basically love to be degraded by white women. And I assume probably white men in some cases. I wouldn't know because I'm not a man. But, who actually pay random people to degrade them as black men. That's who a ghetto gagger is in reality. That's a ghetto gagger, okay? Because they actually enjoy it. They love it. It's what gets them off. And they love it so much. They're willing to pay you hundreds of dollars an hour just for them to hear you say degrading words to them, calling them the N-word, calling them a slave boy, calling them all these derogatory names, simply to get them off. Isn't that really messed up? Like, what type of human being really enjoys and gets sexual satisfaction off of being called the N-word? See, the black women who are ghetto gaggers are getting paid. They're getting a bag for this, okay? They might be being degraded or whatever, but it's for money. And I said this in my last video on this. You do a lot of things. And this doesn't have to do with just the sex industry. You do a lot of things to be degraded, to get money at your job, okay? Waitresses get it, people who do surveys get it, telemarketers get it. Of course they get it, because people do not like to be called and ask for money. It's bad enough when you just ask questions and you say at the beginning of the call, no donations, no selling, no money. Please just let me ask you some questions for 20 minutes as you curse me out and tell me to fuck off, okay? I've had experience as a telephone interviewer, and yeah, we had to deal with a lot because we get the backlash of people who basically deal with telemarketers, and they take it out on us because when you get a call from someone you don't know, you just assume it's somebody asking for money, even if they're just asking questions and they don't even care what your name is. But anyway, point is, you deal with so much situations of being degraded on so many levels by random people you've never even seen before, okay? As a telemarketer, as a telephone interviewer, as a waitress, and so forth. Anything dealing with other people where you're basically serving them to be paid an hourly wage, basically, to serve another person. Whether that's asking questions, getting their order, or, asking money from them. So, you get the idea here. If you deal in customer service, you're degraded regularly, often. Sometimes daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes by the minute. It depends. So obviously, a porn star getting degraded for money is just the name of the game, okay? When you basically, are trying to get money, people will do all sorts of things. But that is not personal enjoyment. It is not personal enjoyment to stay on a phone 20 minutes, being told to fuck off and being called the B word and so forth. That is not personal enjoyment. It is not personal enjoyment for that porn star to be called the N word or to be degraded in whatever else way, racially or non racially. That's not personal enjoyment. What the enjoyment is the compensation monetarily. Now, the thing is about those black men, it is not monetary gains for them. It's actually a loss. They pay people. They pay prostitutes, they pay found sex actors, they pay cam girls to degrade them and to racially disparage them, and it gets them off. That's how you know they are the true ghetto gaggers. Black men are the true ghetto gaggers. And you really have to think, why do people always want to ignore this? I think honestly it's because of two reasons. I think one is because black men tend to control the narrative in the black community. Because black men control black women. That's what mammies are all about. And most black women are mammies. All they do all day is think about what they can do to hop onto a black dick, you know? And so black men obviously don't want to show that there's a problem with certain black men, that they like to basically, they get off on being degraded. They get off on being called a slave boy, you know? And of course, on the other side of this, black women, particularly the mammies, have a hard time dealing with this completely because they don't like to think of the black man with other races of women. It bothers them. It bothers them like none other. Triggers them completely, and they're very uncomfortable with the whole situation. So they don't want to think of the black man being whipped and, being called a slave boy and degraded, and telling him that he's some white man's bitch, to get off, you know, he doesn't they don't want that because they want to see black men as, I guess, the man or somebody that they submit to, someone they're attracted to. So I mean, like, it gets rid of their masculinity if they think black men think about things of that nature and get off on things of that nature. It's it's what it is. I don't know. Like, to me, I think what's more concerning, it's not about, oh, a black man wants to be submissive. It's that, oh dang, why why would someone get off on being called the N-word? Okay, why would that really get you off? Why would being called a slave boy, or for example saying you're submitting to white people or white men or whatever you're submitting to, um why would those things get you off? Why would it matter? Like, for example, if you like men, it shouldn't matter if you're submitting to a white one or a black one. The fact that you have a mentality that you are subjecting yourself to other races, and you have this mentality where you like to subject yourself to other races, that to me tells me that you don't just have a problem of being submissive, you have a problem of your idea of your own blackness. And people like that in the black male community really need help. And people really need to pay attention to this. Because it's not just, honestly, I don't think it's just that in bed it gets them off to be called the N word. I think it's much more than that. It extrapolates to their day to day lives. And you can see this with many black men who may not get off on being called the N-word per se, but they will, for example, associate other black men in very negative lights. This is why we have lots of black on black crime. The main victims of black on black crime are black men, because black men hate the identity of being a black man. And I think it's not just that, I think it's the quality of life. See, like I said, having the idea of submission and seeing black men in the light of being less than white men and white people is in the same vein as seeing black men as less worthy of life and having a less value in their quality of life. Therefore, those men are looked upon as more as basically someone that it doesn't matter if they take their life as much as someone else who is of a different ethnicity. If you feel this way within your race, how can you build a community? You can't. You can't build a community because you view each other in such a low life and such a low existence. And considering what I said in the beginning, that black men tend to seem to control the black community more than anyone, because to me it's like black women are controlled by black men. So if the one who's controlling you hates themselves so deeply that they want to kill themselves, I'm saying not particularly themselves, I'm saying black men kill each other, I guess you could say. Anyway, that they want to kill each other's or whatever, um, then you can understand how badly they see blackness in other people. That extrapolates to their children and their women, their mothers, their sisters, their brothers, okay? And on top of it, I just feel like it's a greater problem in all. But, I mean, it's just more astounding in total that black men literally go out of their way, pay random people they think are white to degrade them, either through prostitute, either through, a cam girl or somebody who is on a phone. It's just really sad that that's what you do. That's what you do with your money. That's what you enjoy so much that you waste your money on it, hundreds of dollars an hour on. I mean, I just think that that's really messed up, honestly, and I feel sorry for black men who do that. I do. And I think that black men really do need help, and it's a cry for help, obviously, that they need to fix within their community. So I'm just saying, when we talk about ghetto gaggers, I think we need to focus on the black men who are true ghetto gaggers, who are so strongly ghetto gaggers that they need to go out of their way to pay somebody to degrade them racially hundreds of dollars an hour. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.